it is my pleasure to welcome the 20 official candidates of Mutyanang Davao 2026 for the press conference. Hello! Huwag madayaw! Happy na kita mahuman, girls. So sige lang, laban lang ta. Okay, again, before we start, no, let me remind our media friends that we are limited to ask 2 questions and 1 follow-up for our candidates and our members of the panel in the person of Sir Will Tormes and the past reigning queens of Mutyanang Davao 2025. Okay, at this point, may we entertain questions from our media friends, starting with ang napabook sa ko ganina, PTV Davao. PTV Davao? Mr. JC? Yes, can you approach the area in the middle? Alright.
Good afternoon, everyone. JC po. My first question po is for contestant Mutyanang Davao number 12 po. So, because this is your first time joining pageant, sino po yung nagtulak sa inyo na mag-join this year po?
Hello, mayang hapon. Actually, this is my 3rd pageant, sir. And then, the one that pushed me was actually my uncle, the youngest brother of my father. And the reason why I pushed to join pageants is because I was actually hit by a truck, a 10-meter truck, actually. And then it pushed me to conquer my fears and embrace new opportunities.
Okay, thank you, Miss candidate number 12, and thank you, JC. Next question is from our City Information Office, Madayaw, Davao. Kindly approach na lang our center tukan. And for those na gusto mag-ask questions sa mga media friends, tira na lang sa dool, no, para medyo gamay-gamay ang atuang travel time. Sige, go, Miss Nicole.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Nicole from Madayaw, Davao. So this question is for candidate number 17. Hello, so for your question, as an advocate for mental health accessibility programs, how would you communicate the importance of mental health care in a way that resonates across different generations and diverse cultural backgrounds, especially when addressing youth, adults, and communities where mental health may be misunderstood, stigmatized, or viewed differently?
Can you please repeat the question?
Okay. So as an advocate for mental health accessibility programs, how would you communicate the importance of mental health care in a way that resonates across different generations and diverse cultural backgrounds, especially when addressing youth, adults, and communities where mental health may be misunderstood, stigmatized, or viewed differently?
As a psychological first aider, as a trained psychological first aider, I was actually namulat sa realidad of mental health in our generation today. And mental health is really stigmatized in our generation. And I strongly believe that I can communicate this advocacy of mine through really strengthening the safe spaces that we can provide for the people and really focusing on the empowerment and the awareness of the young people nowadays, because the moment that we empower the young people, we can actually provide awareness for the other generation as well and the other cultures. That is why my advocacy focuses on the youth empowerment regarding mental health accessibility, because it actually empowers the youth and it can actually empower the whole world and the generations that will follow. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, candidate number 17, and for that question from Madayao, Davao. Next, we have Rogine Patumbon of Sunstar Davao.
To Sir Will. Sir Will, I'm just wondering po, what makes this year's edition of Mutya ng Davao different compared to last year? Can you tell us maybe some of the highlights or some of the things that we have in store for our candidates and for all of the watchers or viewers Davaoenes po?
Hello, okay. Thank you for that question. No? What's in store or what makes it different from last year? Number one is we are bringing Mutya ng Davao closer to the people. So as you can see, last year we had our press con and sachet in hotel. So it's just an exclusive event. But this year, we had it here at the Brisa Ayala Mall. So we're really trying to bring Davaoenes to their Mutyas. And aside from this, we'll be having also our preliminaries and interview rounds, which is also happening in the mall. So that's one of the major difference from last year. And also this year, we'll be having more CSR activities. So we'll be going somewhere now, finalized, but we are going to different kinds of community service, no? Because like what I said kanina, na matumutyang ng Davao candidates are not just beauty pageant title holders, they're leaders. So really trying to emphasize that for this year, that More to Lead is not just a normal theme or tagline for a pageant, but we are standing in, we are doing it. So kami mismo sa CDO and also Mutya ng Davao really want that I-emphasize na we are here not just to say it but to do it. So that's number 2. And number 3, we hope that this year we're trying to change something in the coronation night. We're trying to have something new in our stage and in our production. So hopefully materialize ng tanan, and we're very excited. And also this year, padayon niya po na ito mga interview rounds. So, kabala ito mga girls. Well, ako ang katapat ng mga reading teams, no? Naka-survive sila from last year. So, I know that the girls will also survive. So, kato, there are many things that we want to do for Mutya ng Davao, and we're very excited bringing Mutya ng Davao closer to Davaoenes.
Thank you, sir. One more question. This question is for Mutya 4 and Mutya number 7. I'll just ask the same question for the both of you. As an advocate of mental health, what are your thoughts on the statement of Senator Robin Padilla on the youth of today being considered quote-unquote weak during the committee hearing of the proposed children's safety and social media? What are your thoughts on this, and how will you siguro spread your advocacy on it? Siguro we'll start with Kiana.
No. So that is one of the stigmas that we are currently facing with mental health. That is why I advocate for mental health awareness to educate the people about the mental health, and I want to create a safe and open conversation for everyone.
Thank you, Miss. 17.
Thank you for that question, ma'am. I actually released a statement on my Facebook profile, and I actually really expressed my sentiments regarding Senator Robin Padilla's saying that the youth nowadays are weak. And that's something that really hurt me as someone who advocates for mental health, not only for mental health awareness, but for mental health accessibility, because our youth is not weak at all. We just need better support systems. We need more safe spaces so that we can cater what the youth needs. And actually, for a person who has a really powerful position in the government, I actually expected more from him than just criticizing the youth. But I do believe that we can actually put our trust in the government as long as we ask for accountability, and we ask for better programs, for better support that will actually help our youth nowadays, especially in their mental health.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rogine. Yes, Sir Rudolph of PIA.
To contestant number 1 and may isang taga CPA,
Because how would you convince people or young people to pay taxes, especially now may mga flood control issues, corruption? How would you convince people to pay taxes? Kasi ngayon, medyo pan sila.
Thank you so much for your question, sir. First of all, as a certified tax technician, my job is to help people in complying by paying taxes. I have witnessed how confusing taxes can degrade people. So I have learned to be firm about the rules, but be gentle in guiding them on how to perform and all, so that we cannot just help them comply, we can help them participate in like nation building with dignity. But as a lawyer, my take is that I know corruption is destructive. It destroys lives, it destroys future. Government projects are meant to protect people. That's why it's a very sensitive issue. So as a Mutya, I will use my platform to educate our young and our youth to make people more concerned about where taxes go. Because when people are informed, they ask the right questions and it protects public interest. And that is the heart of a Davao-Wenya, and that is the job of a Mutya. Because I believe that Mutya's purpose lies in service and the courage to stand for others, and that means protecting our people. Thank you.
To add on that, actually, one of the basic doctrines that are actually taught to us when it comes to income taxation is the lifeblood doctrine, and this states that taxes are the lifeblood of our country, meaning that our country cannot operate without the taxes. But the sad reality of this is that actually, with all the confusing and the issues that our country is facing right now, we get a little bit, and not really a little bit, we get angry with how we see our taxes are being regulated. However, we need to understand first and foremost that once again, our country cannot operate without the taxes. And if we lose hope right now, right at this very moment where there are a lot of problems that our country is facing right now, then who will fund or who will regulate our country? How will we continue? How will we move forward? Therefore, I don't think that I can actually convince people because first and foremost, we are actually required to pay taxes. However, what I can say is that to never lose hope, because when we lose hope, then who will be the hope of our country? Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question, Sir Rudolph, and our candidates. Yes, Sir Carlo Dolier.
First and foremost, maayong adlaw, mabuhay ug madayaw gikan sa dakbayan sa Davao. I would like to ask naman kang Kian Marie Rosales, kang Cookie Fontillas, or any of the candidates I would like to ask one question lang yun. Okay, one question na lang para madali. Okay, one question lang para madali. Kang Cookie and kang Kian. If your personality would resemble a symbol of Davao City, what it is today, what personality you think would resemble to yourself, and how would you apply it for the next generations to come? Again, I'd like to ask, if a symbol of Davao would resemble to your personality, what is it?
For me, as a resilient person, I am a strong, independent woman. So basically, it resonates in me because I am a working student. So from the word resilient is that even though that we fall or we have setbacks, we Davaoeños, we still rise from that. Especially from few years ago, from 2017, Rojas bombing, which it tested our faith and our hope of us Davaoeños. And from that moment, it really devastated us, our city. But despite of what happened, we still stand and we stay still resilient.
Okay.
I think one quality that I possess that resembles to Davao City is being fearless. I came back for the second time around because I want to share my story and to put myself out there to inspire other people. But what makes me fearless that relates myself to Davao City is we're not afraid to be different. We're not afraid to take risks. We're not afraid to improve. That being said, it just shows in our city. We are the pioneering city in the whole Philippines, implementing the widest or big road-based public transportation rather, with our electronic vehicles, and with that we're contributing not only to alleviate our traffic problems but also environmental problems, because with this new public transportation method we are reducing the greenhouse gases by 60% according to my research, and we are also what should I say, the lone city that's outside Luzon, who are the biggest contributors to the top 10 cities in the Philippines to contribute to the GDP of the Philippines. That being said, us Davaoenos, we are born to lead because we are disciplinado. Thank you.
Okay, for the sake of time management, my last question I will give to the daughter of John Paul Seniel. Kani, I'd like to ask, in what resemblance that your father has given to you, if ever you will carry his legacy and to become the next Mutya ng Davao 2026. Again, out of your, of course, if ever you're given the chance that you will win as the Mutya ng Davao 2026, in what values your father's legacy that you would carry?
Of course, to be crowned or to have the title of Mutya ng Davao 2026 is both an opportunity and a privilege to showcase and inspire my fellow Davaoenos. And one thing that my father instilled in me, and still I uphold up to this day, is compassion and the heart for listening. Of course, service starts with listening, and with listening you get to understand people, get to be in their shoes, and to be compassionate towards them. And of course, it is I'm very proud to hear stories, good stories about my father, how they impacted their lives, and I'm very proud to be his father, to be his daughter rather, and I hope to inspire other people with my service, my purpose, why I am here, and that is to serve my fellow Davaoenos. Thank you.
Thank you for your questions. Next, we have the DXDC RMN, Diana Banos.
May ngadlaw, Diana Banos sa DXDC. Bisaya lang ko, ma'am sir. Para sa Mutya ng Davao 2025, ma'am, maingon ba nimo nga isang Mutya ng Davao 2025 na mission accomplished ka? Unsa ba, sayon ra ba may imong Mutya ng Davao? Na ba kay suggestion nga mas mapalambo pa ang atong turismo sa Davao?
Yes, sir. No? So, una sa tanan, mayang hapon, kaninya tanan. So, first, I think, no, bilig yun sa'yo mahimong Mutya ng Davao. Kani palang daan nila hang ginaagian ang inyong mga pangutana, I'm sure napagpulpaan ni sila. And dili lang kani ilang agian na interview, daghan kay ni sila ganyan, even ako sa coronation night, di ba surreal? ana siya ka nitty-gritty magod. Kasi we are looking for someone who is a leader. Dili ta nag-look for someone na i-train pa nato. Nagapangita ta og leader na siya daan para ready na siya mag-serve sa city. O isip ko sa Kamutya ng Davao, no, ako along with my core, kaming upat, naningkamot yun ni na daghan mig mabuhat within the year. I think within the year, daghan na mig advocacy na napuna na hatag sa city. Mission accomplished ba? Yes, I can say, pero if only daghan pa jud kaayong oras na ihatag sa AMUA, I'm pretty sure mas daghan kaming mahimo. But for now, kani among ginabuhat no, hope lang yun na i-continue aning mga next na to aspiring Mutyas. And lastly, I think no, kani ako ang pagiging Mutya, it's not just kanang gwapa-gwapa lang. We are not simply faces of the city. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and trust me, the four of us bears the weight of it all. So with that, I leave this message to the ladies, no? Once you are here, you are already a Mutya. Once a Mutya, always a Mutya. So never forget where you're from and who you are to become with or without the crown.
Ako lang siguro kung tagaan gayon ang diwa ng Davao katong uban pang nakadaog itong 2025.
Yes, for me, no, I really put or ensured that I'll be able to maximize the platform that was given to me. You have seen how tedious it was, the screening process up to the coronation night. It was not that easy. And if you're not that committed, if you're not that passionate, and again, if you do not know your why, you will eventually, I think, give up during the whole process. And then after you win the crown, it's still a year of reign, right? So as long as you know that you are willing to serve and be of service to the people of Davao City, you will be able to maximize and give your 100% during your reign.
I agree sa game ko ni Ate Becca and ni Ate Gab. And dili gyud siya lalim. Actually, after winning the crown, during your reign, lisod gyud siya. But personally, na-enjoy po na ko siya. Daghan og mga activities, mga events, appearances. Sometimes, kanang mga gina-post na mo sa social media, especially sa mong page, dili pa gyud na siya tanan. I'm sure na yung mga activities pa na mga wala na share. Pero we're very happy to serve Davao. Kay, of course, kung ito na-join me, it has always been, kung unsa mong is gusto nga i-serve sa Davao City. And we hope na after our reign, we will still continue, of course, our advocacies. We are part na of the past Mutya ng Davao Association. And before our reign ends, actually is napami advocacy work na we will be doing next week, hopefully.
Yeah, so actually everything that they said. Pero for me, I believe that Amutya is really someone who has integrity. Kasi to be honest, right now, yung mga pinagdadaanan natin ng mga candidates up to the coronation, we will always be asked, what will you do when you become Mutya ng Davao? Or what will you do for Davao City? And we have all these promises, no? But the true Mutya will really carry through and do what she promised during her reign. And I believe we have done all of that. And true Mutya will also not just stop after the reign, pagtapos na ng pagpasa ng crown, we will still continue our advocacy and inspire a lot of people. Thank you.
Pwede isa na lang.
Sige, bien.
Sir, para sa mga, sir, nakabatay bisita nga gilauman karon sa araw ng Davao, unsa na nakaandam karon para sa ipahigayon ning araw ng Davao?
Well, this coming Thursday, we'll be having our official press con for Araw ng Davao. No? So I invite our media friends to join us. It's the I Speak press conference. It will be done for Araw ng Davao. But preparation-wise, we're gearing towards, kumbaga, we're like almost 15 days to be, not 15, 13 days before the opening. So we're very excited this year. We're bringing it in front of the City Hall. And kung mapansin niyo, nag-paint na karon sa City Hall. So we're hoping by February 28, kaya ma-start na, kumbaga full na siya, wala na yung iban pang changes. But we start pa lang siya sa atong repainting because we'll repaint the whole City Hall after March. So right now, we're just repainting the front and the sides. But after March, we'll repaint the whole kasi the 100 years of City Hall will be celebrated the whole year. So kato siya. And then aside from that, we'll bring back our 3D mapping for the City Hall because like what I said, 100 years na City Hall, so we want to humanize City Hall na kumbaga ibalik natin yung glory because our City Hall is one of the, if not the oldest building in Mindanao. Isa siya sa mga symbols of our governance. So katulad agad taong mga activities and we're doing Araw ng Davao this year differently because it will be month-long activities. So dagan kaayo and stay tuned lang kaya akong i-post ang official calendar and also post ko din sa mga updates sa atong social media pages.
Salamat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Bien. Again, no, ato lang hulaton, no, ang ato ang official press launch for the Araw ng Davao para napatay mabilin for Thursday. This Thursday na siya, no? Sige. Another question, yes? Sorry, I cannot. Yes, the guy in white. Can you just introduce yourself and which outfit you're from? Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, and belated happy Valentine's Day. This is Paul Emmanuel Amaradas, Paul Pao, YouTube content creator, also with the celebration of Paul Pao Fiesta, where we celebrate festivals in Davao City, mag-vlog ako and everything. So, I'm having two questions, and one from myself, and another one from a chosen from around the world na i-offer ko sila ng question to, like something fun lang. Okay, so for my question, to the Mutya 2025 quiz, including yung Diwa, Pag-asa, and Patnubay, what would be life beyond the crowd?
Oh, life beyond the crowd. Maybe I'll be back to my daily routine, regular routine. Na to share, I'm a geologist and environmental planner by profession, and I'm also currently in my last year of PhD. So for sure, after my rate, I will be focusing more on my academics. I'll be finishing my PhD degree, and will continue to do my advocacy, which is the One Apparel, One Tree program with the Matik Silog tribe. So it has been existing for more than a decade now, and I ensure that I will be continuing these causes, and of course, just to share also that we are currently, there's an ongoing advocacy, an integrated advocacy with my Mutya sisters, and for sure, we'll also be continuing this after our reign in partnership with the past Mutya organization. So yun ang hopefully watch out.
Yeah, so for me, before the crowd, you're actually people, just regular people, regular women in Davao City. But after the crowd, I guess, of course, same with Gab, back to law school, pursuing my dream to become a lawyer, so that one day, I will be standing in front of you not just as a beauty queen, but as a defender of the people.
For me naman, just the same, no? Back to normal. We're still going to be continuing my advocacy. I'm an entrepreneur. I own a sustainable jewelry business, and I would like to advocate of doing business and at the same time contributing to the environment, which is definitely possible. I also manage our farm, so I will be continuing advocating on the youth to be interested in farming.
For me naman, of course, back to normal as a student. So, akads-akads na po kay we're daghan gud ang na-sacrifice during this train. Minsan ma-sacrifice ang work, minsan ma-sacrifice ang akad. So for now, okay, mas kalasad yun. And maybe explore more pageant opportunities in the future, I hope.
And now for this one question, I chose it personally from the questions around the world. So the question, just something fun lang muna para ma-lighten ang mood ng mga Mutya candidates. So this one is from Epic TV, a Twitch streamer from Australia, from Brisbane, Australia, and she asked, as someone who has done pageantry before, asked them something silly like, if you could be any type of fruit, what would you be? For any of the Mutya candidates. Any, kahit sino.
Okay, let's start.
Once again, Tiffy asked, what?
Starting with candidate number 1, yeah?
Yes po, kahit na lang po para time. Wait lang. So once again, so this is a question from Epic TV from Brisbane, Australia. As someone who has done pageantry before, if you could be any type of fruit, what would you be?
I think I'm the one's gonna answer that first. So thank you for that funny question though. So I started joining pageants at the age of 6. And my favorite food literally is durian. Because I find it so, other people might think that durian is, smelly at some point. But yeah, it's true. But, kapag natikman mo na siya once, you'll definitely find it very creamy, very substantial at some point. And then for me, I could correlate myself as a durian because, I'm not a beauty queen alone because at the age of 13, I raised my own community-based organization. And for me, that's purpose, that's a substance, and that's something that we need to share to the entire community, most especially here in Davao City, not just to become famous, but as someone who can truly create an impactful and positive change in Davao City. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ano ba sa kabila? Kay sino?
This is actually my second big pageant, and if I could be any type of food, I would always choose matcha. Aside from it reminds me of Davao because it's great. I really love to drink matcha because it energizes me if I'm tired after an orientation or after practices. So I would really be a matcha if I were a food. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Magandang day. Wish you the best of luck from Paul and Paul Fiesta.
Thank you so much, sir. Unfortunately, I know we want to ask more questions, but maybe we can reserve more for the press on this Thursday. We'd like to call on for our last question, Mr. Simon Abersolo of Madayao, Davao, to wrap it all up. Yes, Sir Simon, go.
Hello, good afternoon. So, ano yung raksadaho na natin itanan, no? So, this question is for everyone. So, maiba naman tayo because people are asking about why should you be the next Mutya ng Davao. Now, my question is, why should you not be the next Mutya ng Davao? I think let's start with candidate number 20, then down to candidate number 1.
You know, beyond, excuse me, beyond the norm, that is such a unique question. But as much as I do want to be as your probable Mutya ng Davao, I think that I should not be Mutya ng Davao because of my weakness. I think that kindness is also a strength, but it also could be a weakness. But if used in the right way, which here in Mutya ng Davao is a great opportunity, could give better possibilities.
Hello, thank you for the question. I actually really appreciate that question because it's so out of the box. And for me personally, I feel like if Mutya ng Davao, the organization is looking for someone who is supposed to, speak off a script, I'm definitely not someone who can do that. I'm not someone who can fake it till you make it. I believe I'm really integral as a person and I'm very holistic. So if I do have a stand about something or if I have a belief about something, I'm open to hear out other opinions. But if it's not in line with what I believe in, then I'm sorry, I'd have to pass that opportunity then.
I actually agree with my sister, Hannah. That question applies to me last year because I was a newbie, I was a beginner. But this year, I believe I am fit to be the next Mutya ng Davao 2026 because I am capable, I am more strong-willed, I have practiced and have more strategized. How can I become the next Mutya sisters? Thank you. That question is actually very personal because I can actually say my weaknesses right now and here. But for as someone who is a Mutya and an aspiring Mutya ng Davao 2026, I believe there's no reason for me to be not the next Mutya ng Davao 2026 because I possess the abilities to lead and to empathize with other people and to really serve Davao City and its people. But if I could find reasons for me to not be the next Mutya ng Davao, it would be my weaknesses, the things that I need to improve, the things that I need to enhance. But other than that, I could actually be the next Mutya ng Davao 2026, and I'm ready to claim that one. Thank you.
I am never not ready to be Mutya ng Davao 2026 because from the first day of application down to this day, I am fulfilling my dream ever since I started pageantry to become a Mutya. And I have the ability to rise above all the challenges with grace and strength. And I am here with my values, with resilience, service, and to serve my fellow Davaoeños. Because I am here as a Davaoeña, proud of my heritage, and fully driven to provide a positive impact for all the Davaoeños. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. honestly, if Mutya ng Davao is not looking for someone who is really ready to serve or to be someone who has the purpose to serve, and I believe that I should not be the next Mutya ng Davao. But I firmly believe that as someone who is a product of a broken family and as someone who started living alone at the age of 15, I can really say that I could take this challenge to be your next Mutya ng Davao, because I know for a fact that I have a heart for service, and I believe that the best representation of me being on this stage is because I want to serve for this city, because I believe that this city is deserved to be served. Thank you so much.
Just like Miguela, I do believe that if the organization does not seek for someone who is ambitious, who is intense, who looks for initiatives, who is someone who initiates taking action plans on things just because she has the platform, she has the power to lead, she has the power to influence, that I do believe I don't deserve to be the next Mutya ng Davao 2026. But instead, I'd rather tell you that I possess all these things and that I do deserve to be the next Mutya ng Davao 2026. Thank you.
The same with the others, I don't think there's any reason why I should not be the Mutya ng Davao 2026. Why? Because I started this journey with a resolute mindset that I want to become Mutya ng Davao 2026. And at the same time, what would that make of me if from the very start I would think of reasons why I should not be. Therefore, I try to focus on the positive things. I try to focus on what I can offer to the city that comforted me in my lowest and highest points in life. Thank you.
Yes, I do agree with Ate. Why should I win? Why should I not win? Because we girls, my Mutya sisters and I, we're here for a purpose. And we're here because of one goal, and that is to serve our fellow Dabaweños, because we are born to lead. Thank you.
Well, I do believe that this batch is actually one of the toughest batch, because I am indeed in a sea of equally competent, intelligent, and beautiful ladies. And I'm sure that some of my Mutya sisters are also a degree holder. But despite of those doubts, I chose to stand and to fight for my own causes, because I know that even though I'm still a student, I know that I can still put something on the table, and I know that with the characteristics that I possess, I know that I am perfect or a perfect fit to be the next Mutya ng Davao. Thank you.
If I should not be the Mutya ng Davao, then I believe that I should be the Pag-asa ng Davao. Pag-asa means hope, and I want to be someone who Dabaweños should look at and they feel the hope. I grew up, I experienced abuse, and now I stand here for the second time bringing my story out there. And I want to represent the women and children, especially my fellow survivors, that your story is not over, that fear should never become something that would pull you back from your dreams. I want to be the pag-asa ng Davao, pag-asa sa atong mga katawhan para sa syudad na atong ginubuhay.
Actually, sir, honestly, that is one of the questions that I keep asking myself for about 3 years, because I've been invited to join Mutya ng Davao 2023. However, I still have the question within myself, am I willing, or do I have the drive to lead? But given the chance that I have acknowledged my vulnerability, I have always remind myself in every bold decisions that I make. I always remind myself that it is okay to fail, it is okay to commit mistake, and because that's how we grow. And despite of my challenges and my doubts that really crept in every night, I always show up, and the very evidence that I am here in front of you is that when I take the board exam, I have been rushed in the emergency room twice. That is in the middle of my board examination, but still I show up. And I guess despite of my doubts, I always come to think positively. And maybe one thing that I have to discover and to learn about myself is to never hold my capacity, because I always have this tendency of self-sabotage. So maybe that is the reason why I shouldn't be Mutya. But despite of that, again, I always show up, even though it's trembling with my hands. Thank you.
Hello, and once again, thank you for that question. It's really out of the box, threw me off a loop. So we all joined Mutya because we have something to say. We have advocacies we are very passionate on. And we're all here in front of you today because we were all chosen. The judges, everybody knows that we have kaalam, kaanyag, we have that leader in us. And I know for a fact everybody here is deserving to become Mutya. I know I'm deserving to become Mutya. And if there's anything that should hinder me from becoming Mutya, it's because there's somebody more passionate than me, or if there's somebody better than me. That's all, thank you.
Thank you. For me, I don't deserve to be Mutya ng Davao 2026 is because of my residency in Japan. So I worked and lived in Japan for more than a decade, and I realized that, well, as we all know, Japan is a very great country, and I appreciate it. I'm very grateful that I got the privilege to live there and enjoy the amenities of Japan. However, I always find myself looking back to the life I have here in Japan. When I was there, I had the privilege to be crowned as Miss Philippine Expo in Tokyo, and there I had the chance to collaborate with fellow Filipino creatives and entrepreneurs, and I realized that that experience shaped the way I think and my principles, my values, that I am proud to be Davaoeña, and I got also a chance to be interviewed by a local Japanese news article, Meet in Asia NNCA. You can look it up on the internet, and I shared my life, my background here in Davao City, with pride and with compassion for my people. And I think that is the only reason I do not deserve to be a Mutya ng Davao 2026. However, I want to continue that story here in Davao City. I already shared that story beyond our borders, and I want to continue that story here. This time by serving and representing Davaoeños here in my hometown, Davao City, where it all began. Thank you.
Mayang hapon sa inyong tanan, mayang hapon, sir. As a Davaoeña, I carry with me the essence of what this pageant truly stands for. And if I were to give three things of what perfectly describes as a Davaoeña, it would be to live beauty, wear culture, and build strength. To live beauty because I've been to different barangays already where I gather stories from different people. I wear culture by honoring the traditions and our culture, and to build strength from our people, from farmers to fisher folks to ordinary people. And I gather stories that matters. And I believe that if Mutya ng Davao is not ready for someone who lives her beauty, who wears her culture, and who wields her strength, then definitely I am not someone who should be the Mutya ng Davao. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Maayong hapon sa atong tanan. So, to be realistic and to be honest with each one of you, I really believe that all the girls that are sitting right in front of you are really deserving towards the crown. And if I will not be your Mutya ng Davao 2026, I will still be the same youth community leader, because I started as a leader at a very young age, and for me, the crown could never define your purpose. So if Mutya ng Davao's theme for this year is all about born to lead, and if given a chance that I will not be the one who's going to be crowned for that, well, I'm still going to continue my purpose. I'm still going to leave the leadership that I started when I was younger and up until now, because I really believe that when you create a single act of kindness, a single act of purpose, it would definitely create a massive ripple, not just only to yourself, but so what's inside the community. And right now, even if I'm not crowned yet as your Mutya ng Davao 2026, we've already adopted our community-based organization into a school-based organization wherein we're not just impacting the lives of the community, but we are also impacting the lives of our students, which is the backbone of the entire society. So I really believe that the crown creates power, but leadership and beginning it with someone who doesn't only needing the crown itself, is someone beyond the leadership itself. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. I would like to keep it short. I should not be the next Mutya ng Davao if the people, the community, the city doesn't want a Mutya who can lead with a purpose. A Mutya who embodies the values of Davao. So if you don't want the change, then I should not be the next Mutya ng Davao.
Why should I not be the next Mutya ng Davao? I actually really like this question because this is the first time I heard that question. But I like it because it embraces the idea that nobody is perfect, but imperfection is beautiful. However, if I were to say a weakness of mine, it would probably be my communication skills in the dialect Bisaya or Cebuano. As someone who has grown up most of their life living abroad in the United States and a couple years in Australia, it was not only until 2017 where I had to challenge myself and embrace Bisaya and the communication skills I need here. But I can say that if I were to be the next Mutya ng Davao, through this platform, I would embrace that sort of adaptability that I had, the flexibility and courage to have in order to lead and to embrace the culture of the Philippines. That way, again, if I were to use this platform, I would be able to translate the purpose in my heart into action. Thank you.
Mabuhay Madayao, maayong hapon sa iyong tanan Davaoenos. All of their answers are correct and different from mine. The question itself, why I should be not the next Mutya, it is because somehow in between, we need to grow into ourselves. From the word itself, God, we need improvements to ourselves from our personal beliefs, and somehow we need to grow, like as in a drastic, not something like drastic, but somehow we need to grow something in that. And that is somehow personal. We need to grow.
Mabuhay of Madayao, sir. I view the pageant as more than just a competition. It's really a platform for service and leadership. And as we know, Mutya ng Davao is not just a celebration of beauty. It gives real women opportunities to serve our country and represent everyday women who carry quiet roles. And that's why I am here. It's really an honor to come back for the second time at the Mutya ng Davao stage. And 2 years ago may not have been my time, but it gave me clarity and direction. So I come back clearer and clearer in my purpose, and I come back stronger. And I want to make it clear that I came here to serve. So I came here to advocate, and I came here with my Batang My Bosses program. So if I would not win, that would be because someone else is more deserving of the crown. And I know that each one of us deserves to win. So if someone else will be the next Mutya ng Davao, I trust that she will carry the crown not just as a symbol of victory, but as a responsibility to serve with humility and purpose. Thank you.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our official 2026 Mutya ng Davao candidates. Before we end today's press con, may I ask for a closing message from our officer in charge of the City Tourism Operations Office, Sir Will Tormes Jr.
Mabuhay Madayao. Once again, daghang salamat to our media friends for coming, to all the supporters of our candidates, and to all the women here on stage. Thank you so much, girls, for being here and also for representing your barangays. And to the reigning queens, good job, girls. And I hope that the remaining days will be as fruitful as it was 1 year ago. So again, daghang salamat na, and also thank you so much to our tech team, to the production team of CTOO, our own production team. Thank you so much to the hardworking people of CTOO. Thank you, guys. Also, thank you so much to our, syempre, support from the City Government of Davao, CIO, Madayao Davao, daghang salamat sa suporta. Our reigning queens, Higas and Reyna Quinso, daghang salamat. And again, media friends, daghang salamat. And we're very, very, very excited, no, to share the stories of these Gandaboeñas. We're just starting today, but we are heading towards a more fruitful, not just fruitful, but more comprehensive and more exciting Mutya ng Davao. And I hope that you'll follow these girls because they have so much stories to tell and we have so many things to share to everyone. So, good luck to each of these Ganda Buenas and may the best Ganda Buena win.
Alright, thank you so much, Sir Will Dormis Jr. Once again, that has been the press conference of the official Mutya ng Davao 2026 candidates. We hope to see you in the upcoming events leading to the celebration of the 89th Araw ng Davao. Again, this is Jesha Opiana. Maayong hapon sa inyong tanan.